Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. We are back, Cosmic Cunties, and we are here live. Well, I'm live recording this episode for this week, which is October 20th through the 26th. I am Tiffany. I am head Cuntie at Cosmic Cunties, and I am so glad that you're here. I, every week, emphasize how important it is that we show up as the most informed versions of ourselves, so that when we enter into the world, we know why people are behaving the way that they are, why things are happening the way that they are, why we might be feeling a certain way or having certain thoughts. The more aware that we are, the more self-awareness that we have, the more that we can show up as the highest versions of ourselves, and that inspires others to do the same as well. And it just makes the world a better place. So that's my thoughts on that. Bad news. I don't like to say bad or negative, but this week is intense, babes. It's intense. It's transformative if you choose it to be. It can be very powerful. And there's two sides to every energetic coin, the duality of life. And so my personal intention for y'all this week is, when we're heading into these emotional tides, remember that there are tides that we cause or partake in or have some say in ourselves. And it is our job to notice and do the work when it is our job or our doing or our undoing. That self-awareness is key. And to remember, since it's such an emotional week, that water, which is, it's a lot of Scorpio this week, interacting with other water signs and planets. And it's our job to notice when water is swallowing us whole or when we're just floating with it. So water is such a powerful force. It has the ability to destroy and to cleanse and to create. And so if we are fighting the current, we're going to feel it. Unless we are surrendering and going with the flow, whatever that flow might be, who knows what's coming up for you, but just know that it's happening for a reason and go with it and float with it, and you should be okay. I'm pulling these karma cards back out again this week. I think that we might need some guidance from the universe, because I do think this week is going to be intense, especially on Thursday. So if on Thursday you guys can maybe just like keep your mouth shut or be really nice to yourself inside your head, that would be really, really crucial in getting you through this week, I would think. So I'm shuffling planets. And now I'm going to shuffle the sign cards. Now I know why tarot card readers, like, they are always like talking and feeling awkward during their shuffle. Like they're having to fill the void, because I'm just like sitting over here quiet and I'm like, what do I tell my cunties? I wish I had like dad jokes for y'all. I really don't. I'm a pretty basic witch. No, I'm not. I'm one of those cool witches. Whatever. Anyways, void has been filled. Okay. Planets. You know what? I'm not doing that. I'm literally not doing that. I am going to spread these out, and whichever one pops out is coming through. Yep. We got Mars. So I'm going to talk about the action that we should take this week. And then the outcome, of course. And then we got in Pisces. So an emotional sign, creative sign as well, and intuitive. And then we've got in the 11th house. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. So Mars and Pisces in the 11th house, we are getting, for the spiritual advice for this week, energize your dreams for humanity's sake. Okay. Mental, confront your idealization of your hopes and wishes. Mental, again, I'll repeat it. Confront your idealization of your hopes and wishes. And then for the physical realm, the guidance for this week is force yourself to be a part of something overwhelming and do it for the future. Ooh. Yeah, this kind of aligns, I would say. Force yourself to be a part of something overwhelming and do it for the future. Mainly because we've got Pluto and Aquarius going direct now. And so that's all about like pulling all the shit down, like all of the wool that's over our eyes, all of the societal systems that are put in place, they're crumbling down. That's why we've got the politics in the US that are holding on to things dramatically. And because we know it's crumbling because it was built to disenfranchise certain groups. And humanity as it is now, we're not down with it, at least for a lot of us. So Pluto is holding a lot of prisoners. And if we're not taking action and speaking out, then we're going to feel it. And also Neptune is moving into Pisces this week, which we pulled the Pisces card. So Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, and Neptune is all about dreams, illusions, and just like La La and Delulu land, and Pisces can be that way as well. So having Neptune there, we were just there for a long time. And then Neptune went into Aries for part of this year. And I believe it was for us to kind of see the future of like, what is it going to feel like for Neptune to be in Aries, and for us to finally have that Aries energy to move us forward and take action on our dreams, which is Neptune. Because Neptune has been in Pisces for so long. So we've been sitting here dreaming and dreaming and dreaming. And now it's like, okay, time to take action. And we're like, oh, it's go time. Okay. And also Saturn and Neptune have been besties, going in Aries together, coming back out of Aries together and into Pisces, retrograding together, and just really being the best friends at the party. And they're reuniting this week of like, you know, at the party they lose each other and they come back and they're like, guess what happened, you know, and now they finish the party out together. For the most part, that's what's going to be happening. And Saturn is that structure of our dreams, but because it's pairing with Neptune, however, and it is in Pisces right now. Yeah, it is. Because like I just said, Neptune and Saturn are coming back together this week. But the thing about Saturn and Neptune together in Aries, which we experience this year, is like getting disciplined on our dreams to move forward and not do it in such a like brash way like Aries sometimes does. But it's more so like, okay, get your shit together, like get your ducks in a row so that you can put them in the pond and have them swim around and experience and live the dream. And the pond is sustainable and it's going to always be there for them, like forever, and their legacy and their family and all of that. Duck legacy. If you are loving it, put in the comments duck legacy, please. So yeah, so that's where we're at. And I think that Neptune going back into Pisces for this remainder of this year, the year of 9, the year of the snake, it's asking us to go back and be like, okay, all those years that you've been dreaming up and then you felt that pressure to go forward with Aries, are you realizing now that those dreams are still what you want? And are they still sustainable? Or do you need to maybe conjure up more details of your dreams or kind of drop some to the wayside? Or, you know, so that's where we're at. And that's exactly what this is saying, is like, confront your idolization of your hopes and wishes and energize your dreams for humanity's sake. So that's the other thing, is I do think a lot of people that are listening to this is going to be people that are doing the work for themselves and for humanity's sake, but just make sure, check in and always fill your cup up first, but know that ultimately what you're doing, it should be in the best interest of humanity. We're rebuilding a new world. Next year's the year of 1. It's fresh starts, but we need to make sure the foundations that we're building for all the dreams that we're wanting to leave and the legacies we're wanting to build, we need to make sure that these foundations are solid. So revisit your dreams while Neptune and Saturn are in Pisces, but like, don't be afraid to rearrange and kind of shake some shit out, okay? All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started by the day today. And actually, I wanted to do one other thing because I've been messing with my pendulum lately. I've got a jade pendulum and I'm trying to like work her energy, but I want to see. So I like to hold, I have my rings on today though. God, spirit team, and my highest interest, please show me and all the cosmic cunties viewing that what the answer yes looks like for my next question. Please show me what the answer yes looks like. Please make this as taut as possible. Okay, I'm getting an up and down for yes. Universe, spirit team and my highest interest, and spirit teams of all the cosmic cunties. Oh, can you please show me what a no looks like? They're like, bitch, we already know what you're gonna ask. So no is a circle. Okay. God and spirit team and my highest interest and the spirit teams of all the viewers and the highest interest of them. This week's energy, is it going to be intense energy? Yes or no? I'm getting a yes. Thank you, spirit guides. Thank you, God. Yeah, I think it's a yes, cunties. So, with that being said, let's talk about the day by day, play by play for the football cunties that we're going to be working with. So Monday, the moon in Libra squares Jupiter in Cancer. This is an internal world and friction with the planet of expansion and optimism. So we can be feeling expansion of the feelings that we're having and also the intuition that's happening. But it's also like these emotions are very airy fairy. I feel like Libra, it's very mental sign, and it has a really hard time making decisions. So we could feel this more intense, like either diplomacy or balance, but also like inability to make decisions or people pleasing. So be really careful to not be people pleasing on Monday, which is tomorrow. As I'm recording this, it will be released tomorrow. So I guess today, try not to be a people pleaser. Try to just find the balance and harmony within, so that the rest of this week, when things are starting to get a little more intense, you have that balance within yourself as your baseline. Of course, that's like the goal every day, but just like really much so this week. You can be feeling indecisive on Monday as well. So really trying to tap in and tune into your highest self is key on Monday. Excuse me. Tuesday, the sun in Libra is conjunct the moon in Libra. This is what we like to call a new moon in Libra. So this is really highlighting our feelings, where we feel balanced, where we feel love, where we feel harmonious. But the question is, where do we feel unbalanced? Where do we need to tip the scales to put things into balance, especially when it comes to ourself, the sun, and partnership or relationships, because it's Libra. And this is the new moon. So this is really asking us, what are we calling in when it comes to partnerships and relationships? Is it a business partnership that you're wanting to call in? Is it romantic? But it's really asking you the question of, where do you want to grow? And what is your highest self really asking for you? A lot of us, we're like, we want a relationship if we're single, but if we have to be real and honest with ourselves, we're probably not ready for one. We're probably still starting our business or trying to get our feet stable after this crazy ass year. So yes, new moon, manifest, call it in, especially in partnerships and relationships. But be very clear on what it is that you want. you know? And fuck it, call it all in. Who am I to say call in one thing, but call it all in. Call it all in. And that's wise words to myself. We also have the moon later moving into Scorpio. And so this is where things start to get spicy, intense, powerful, transformative, really deeply emotional. This is spicy season on spicy spices. This is intense, and Mercury and Mars are here as well. So we've got the moon, Mercury, and Mars in Scorpio. And then tomorrow, which would be Wednesday, the sun moves into Scorpio. So like, wow, we're feeling intense. We're feeling really intense things. The whole emotional wheel, like emotionalwheel.com, like we're all in it. And whatever's going on in your life is going to feel really highlighted right now. And yeah, just hold on tight. We're also speaking our minds, and others are doing the same. Mercury's here and Mars is here. So we're taking action. We're taking action. Our mouths are moving. We're like, da, 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 da. My heart is da, 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 da. And I da, 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 and I am moving forward with it. And others are doing that as well. So even if you've got your balance from Monday and Tuesday, like watch out, babies. Watch out, cunties. The moon in Scorpio is also going to square Pluto in Aquarius, which is what we talked about in our reading. Essentially, this is the first square. Well, once the moon moves into Scorpio, it's the first aspect that we have. So, and it's a square. So this is in relation to our shadows coming out. Pluto is the lord of the underworld. And so letting us know where we don't feel safe, where we don't feel like we can trust our societal expectations or pressures that we're having, what's not working externally, where do we keep showing up in groups of people and in society and faking it and acting like everything will be okay, but it isn't. So look into your internal world when you show up in these places, and how are you feeling? That's your answer. If you're showing up in groups and you're like, oh, I don't feel 100%. I don't feel lit up. I don't feel energized in this group or in this space. Why do you keep showing up? Pluto and Aquarius is asking you to be real with yourself, and Scorpio is real. Like sometimes too real for a lot of people. All right, Wednesday's the big day because we've got, like I mentioned, sun moving into Scorpio. She's here. She's feisty. She's spicy. She's powerful. She's deep. It's witchy season. I mean, it's officially witchy season. We're already in October, but like this is the cut the tape. We're here. And of course, it's feeling all of our emotions, the intensity of them. And also, we've got the Neptune moving into Pisces on Wednesday too. So Neptune is swinging back into its natural spot where all of our delusions, where all of our dreams, where all of our creations are supported, but they're supported by our delusions. So the veil is back on our dreams. And hopefully, since Neptune was in Aries, like I mentioned earlier, we saw a little bit of a reveal of what is realistic and what can continue to be, and what can continue within our dreams, and what needs to be revised, especially once that veil was removed. And hopefully we can be a little bit more refined on our dreams and whether or not we need to implement more or take something away. And hopefully we can see what it felt like to have the veil taken away, and the difference of what it's like to look our dreams in the face and be like, it's go time with the Aries energy. And hopefully that like notice of that difference is the answer that we need to not let the veil come back over too heavily with that Neptune moving into Pisces. So Thursday is the monster of the day. Okay. This is like, woo. Hold on to your britches. Okay. Let's do it. Moon in Scorpio is conjunct Mars in Scorpio. Also, let's just put it together. Moon in Scorpio is conjunct Mercury in Scorpio. I talked about it earlier, but this is extremely intense. Our emotions are rearing their head. They're passionate. They're deep. They're here to be seen. They're here to be heard. We're acting on our emotions. And Mars just cannot help itself. It's like no matter how much grounding energy and balancing energy of Libra that we were feeling at the beginning of the week, like it's full force ahead at this point in time. It feels like Mars, which is the planet or the god of war, feels like that he finally got all his best soldiers frontline and he's ready, and it's like it's go time or it's never going to be. And so we're acting on it. And we've got people out here, frontline battles, like whatever these battles are that people are dealing with, they're coming out. Our own battles, our own internal battles, whether that be, I mean, the Lord help us. Whew. Combine that with the planet of communication, and we're having dramatic conversations. We are battling. This is Sparta. We are trying to hold ourselves together. Really, Thursday, try to keep yourself tame. Hold tight. Hold. I love that movie. I'm talking about 300, but anyways. The moon in Scorpio is also trining Jupiter in Cancer. This is heightened emotions. This is double water sign with expanding that of our internal world. All I can say is intense. This is intense. Please be careful today. Think things through. Tuck yourself in. The moon in Scorpio is also trining Saturn in Pisces. So this might help you have a little discipline when it comes to your feelings. But in reality, the energy of the day is so potent that really we're going to be speaking our mind. Just make sure you don't have regrets. Journal it out first. That's some Saturn discipline. Journal it out first. And then we've got Jupiter in Cancer squaring Chiron in Aries. So we are feeling the shadows of perhaps our outbursts from the day. We're feeling our intense internal world. We're feeling the shadows of our self, of our ego, of our identity. We're feeling the intensity and the shadows that came out and the realizations that have come out from the arguments or intense conflicts we might have been going through on this day or even through the week, because some of us feel the energy before the day. Maybe we're reflecting on how we felt, and maybe if it needed to play out the way that it did. Either way, we're feeling expansion of our emotions and our intuition, and our shadows and our self and our ego are coming out too. So we're seeing it all hang out. It's all hanging out on Thursday, okay? Just like, let's learn to love all of ourselves. And the one thing that I think we should all do is that no matter what happens, if we handle a situation, including our internal world and the way that we talk about ourselves or to ourselves, better than we've done in the past, applaud ourselves, award ourselves, love ourselves down. We deserve it. Also, the moon in Scorpio is going to trine Neptune in Pisces, again, because Saturn and Neptune are back together. And so they're like the best friends, and they are like, oh my God, you know, this is what happened at the party. Now we're back together to have this disciplined action for our dreams. Like, this is a pretty good balanced duo, I think. But yeah, this moon in Scorpio trine Neptune in Pisces is giving delusions. It's fueling your inner fire. Try not to let it. Just know that this energy from Thursday is going to settle. We do have the moon moving into Sagittarius later that day. It's moving into a fire sign though. So at least it's not really like our intense, deep emotions that we're just feeling like, ah. And we might just be feeling like the remnants from the day, and we're not quite in the clear. And at the same time, the moon in Sagittarius is going to oppose Uranus and Gemini. So random things are going to happen and make us feel chaotic internally. This is like a chaotic fire inside. We're feeling like we are cuckoo more than likely. So just be easy on yourself. Even if this day went awry, just like I said, love on yourself. Try to find positives of like how you showed up or handled certain situations. Friday, we have the sun in Scorpio squaring Pluto in Aquarius. So this is really just shining a light again on who we are and how we're showing up, especially in groups where we have heightened emotions. So, you know, do you feel a certain way when you show up in groups, or when you show up in groups and certain conversations show up and you feel really passionate or deeply about things? The friction of the square is going to cause that to come out, or you're going to feel uncomfortable, and it's meant to be worked through. Pluto is shadow. He's coming up because you're ready. Mercury in Scorpio is also going to trine Jupiter in Cancer. So it's giving, we're starting to feel a little bit better because we're starting to be able to communicate our feelings. Maybe we're cleaning up the mess from Thursday, but really getting in touch with like, what are we feeling? Whatever it is, we're experiencing support and communicating those feelings. We have intense feelings that are being exemplified. No, not exemplified. Expanded upon. And also supported in the communication within whatever the container might be. And then we've got, I'm kind of flying through this because I think my computer might die. So hopefully you guys are locking this in. Thursday, no bueno. Saturday, Mercury and Scorpio is trining Saturn and Pisces. This is supportive, disciplined conversations. This is support and communicating emotions, ideas, depth, witchy woo-woo stuff. Feel free to kind of say what you need to say, talk your emotions out. Saturn might make you feel a little bit like hard on yourself mentally for them, but try just to use it, the Saturn energy, to like be logical and disciplined in how you communicate those deep feelings. I wrote basically whatever's on the table is free reign to discuss in a stable way. And Scorpios aren't afraid to go in. They're willing to go in. So go in. Sunday, last day, Moon in Sagittarius is squaring Saturn in Pisces. It's also squaring Neptune in Pisces. Again, Neptune and Saturn are back together, BFFs at this party. And they're kind of creating this like powerful ruckus again. So this disciplined dreaminess is at odds with how we feel inside with this squaring the moon. We might come across people who are waking us up to how we feel and showing us that how we feel might not be based on reality, or that we're not aligned with the dreams that we're trying to make happen. This is very fiery emotions that really are at odds and not liking the dreaminess and the wateriness of the Neptune and Pisces. So like we're feeling we want to make things happen, but we can't see things just clearly yet. And that is the purpose of this for the energy for the rest of the year. Because once it goes back into Aries, we're really going to be able to take action on our dreams and our delusions. We got to make sure that the veil ain't too thick. We might still be feeling the intensity of the week and we might want to move on, but maybe we aren't in reality or aren't in the clear yet. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting, is like Moon in Sagittarius, fire. We're really wanting to move forward but it's like these things are still kind of shedding and shaking out from the week. So we just need to like let it all kind of settle a bit. And then finally, to round out the week, we've got the moon moving into Capricorn. So this is the grounding energy that we need internally after this week. Relax into that groundedness, breathe, reflect, and enjoy, because this week is intense AF. Ground yourselves this week, babes. Practices this week. I can't repeat it or harp on it enough. Whew, that was a rapid fire. I could feel that one. I'm already feeling all that energy, Scorpio energy. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. I hope that this helps someone somehow, some way. And if it does, feel free to put it in the comments. That helps me keep showing up every week for y'all and for myself. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know where to find me. Put it in the comments. I put my email down below. My website's down below. If you're wanting to have any type of natal chart astrology reading or synastry reading that is between you and another person as to what's going on within that relationship, love, familial, friendship, frenemy, potential love, you don't have to have the other person there. I'm more than happy to read for y'all. You just need their birth information. So that is where I will leave everybody. I hope you guys have a beautiful, easeful week where you do something better or handle a situation better than you would have before. Toodles.